Here we are, Thoughts from the Office, Redneck's Pride Outdoors. Many of you saw that I had put up a video. Somebody had, not somebody, a few, had found some of my sites for my grandkids and took over the site in the last few days. And I'm hoping that they just don't. I'm hoping that they just not experienced. Okay, I can deal with that. I can understand that. And heck, if it wasn't for my grandkids, I'd give them the spot. As a matter of fact, I do that every year. I have 10, 15 places that I do the scent testing on, and guys find it, and I just give it to them. You know, and have at it, have fun. I don't care about killing a deer. I've killed my deer. So I took that video down because I didn't like how I looked in it, meaning my actions. All right. So I want to do another video because this video I want to describe, or I want to go into detail why experienced hunters, when we're hunting over mineral or dry attractant or scents, we don't hunt right on them. We want to be 30 to 50 yards for bow now. 30 to 50 yards, I want to be 30 to 50 yards predominant downwind on the main 1, 2, 3 trails that they're coming into that site where I have my deer stuff 2 and my deer stuff 1 and my mock scrape, if I've only got one mock scrape. And the reason I want to be 30, 40, 50 yards down is a couple reasons. Number one, I want that spot where the deer stuff 2 is setting, I want it to be neutral as possible. In other words, I don't want the deer coming in looking for me in a tree stand. I don't want them doing that. I want them to come into that spot. They're going to know I was there. They're going to smell me. They're going to, the whole kit and caboodle. But by the time the season's rolling around or we're hunting, they're not looking at my odor as negatively as if I've only been in there once or twice. So I go in once a week, once every 7 to 10 days, put down a quart of deer stuff 2, walk, turn around, give a squirt of our deer bait enhancer, maybe a quarter of an ounce on the top of it, and turn around, walk on out. Boom. All right. Freshen up the mock scrape if I need to, and then just walk on out. My stand is going to be down on the best run coming in on the downwind side, like I already said. Alright, so when the deer come into that spot, there's no negative. Now, muzzle loader, or if I was in Pennsylvania rifle hunting, I haven't been there for a few years, but if I was rifle hunting, or I'm muzzle loading, or I got a slug that I'm reaching out 100 yards, I'm going to set my stand up in such a way that I can still see that spot, and I can get a shot if I need to, if I want to. All right, but that's in the later part of the season. Another reason we set them back off that way is when you get 4, 5, 6, 7 deer on that spot at the same time, there's a lot of eyes. All right, there's a lot of eyes. They're going to pick you out. They're going to pick me out. So by being 30, 40, 50 yards downwind on the trail coming in, if I want to let them go, I let them go. Don't move, and they didn't know I was there, and I'm happy, they're happy, and everybody's happy. Third is I don't have to worry as much about my scent swirling. Yes, I use my cover scents, Forest and Fields, absolutely. 2-in-1, absolutely. Never hunt without them. My clothes are stored with Forest and Fields, okay? But you cannot take human odor away. What cover scent does is creates an illusion. But when you're sitting right there at the bait, when you're sitting right there at the mineral, when you're sitting right there at the mock scrape, wind, we all know wind is like water. It changes. And a swirl here or a swirl there can take your scent, whip it around, and then just a little bit of human odor, slapping them in the face, can be a negative. So by being off of that, standing down, being 40, 50 yards off, if that little swirl, the chances of them picking me up is slim to none. All right. And in order to hunt bait, mineral, dry attractant, the key to being successful at that is not how much you put down, it's how much of a deer hunter you are before you put it down. You got to put it down knowing anticipating the area in which they're going to be coming from. You are going to know that. So when you set up your site, you're setting it up with the intentions of knowing that you're going to see which 2-3 runs they use the most, and hopefully they're pretty close together, you know, to where you can put your stand in between them in a good situation where the wind ain't going to catch them, and you can get a shot left, right, whatever. All right. And you're going to put it 40, 50, 30, 40, 50 yards down on the staging ground, because everybody knows that your bigger deer, your better deer, your smarter deer are going to do what when they're coming up to a mineral site or what have you. They're going to come downwind most of the time. Except for the stupid ones, the little ones, but we're not after them anyway. Alright, so you know, when you're setting up your bait, and I'm not against bait, I'm for bait, I'm for it. I'm not for truckloads of it. I'm not for 200 pounds every 3 days of corn. But you want to go in with a 5-gallon bucket, take a little bit of our bait enhancer and put like a 1/4 ounce into 3-4 ounces of vegetable oil and stir it around good and pour it all over top of that and mix it in with your corn. Fit a 5-gallon bucket. That's good. Scattered it. Don't put it in one pile. Scatter it like you're eating acorns. All right, I'm all for that. Hey man, I ain't the deer hunter I used to be. So when I do deer hunt, I want to kill a deer. I'm not going out just sitting in a tree stand. I want to kill a deer. I don't have time to deer hunt like I used to. I don't have the patience to deer hunt like I used to. So we fix it up so we can figure this out, all right? So whether you're using my Deer Stuff 2 or Deer Stuff 1 or bait enhancers, use your head when you're doing it. Think about what you're doing. Don't hunt that stand. Most experienced hunters know that if we hunt the stand one time and we're there for 2 hours, we've left a lot of human odor there. Whether you believe it or not, we have, and that deer will pick it up. Now if they're used to you, they won't get spooky on you. Again, those big bucks they didn't get that big by being stupid. Or those big 4-year, 5-year-old does, they didn't get that old by being stupid. They'll mess with you. But you know, your average deer. I'm talking to the average deer hunter right now. I'm not talking to you guys that's trophy hunters. More power to you, man. Go get them. But for you guys that's got 1 day a week to hunt, okay, you're in good shape actually, because you're not going to overhunt the stand. But when you have bait or minerals or dry attractant out, your tendency is to want to hunt it as much as you can. So if you're hunting it 3-4 times a week, you're going to alert those deer. You're going to tell those deer you're there. Whether you want to believe that or not, you're going to. All right, so the experienced hunter knows that he's going to hunt it once. If he's on that good buck and things are working good, he may get 2, but by the 3rd day, and you've got a big buck and you haven't killed him on the 3rd day in a row, back out of there. Okay, because he's going to know you was there. He's going to know you was there. The other deer know you was there too, but they may not be as smart enough to acknowledge it, especially if they're used to your odor, your scent already. But I get a lot of people calling me up and saying, hey, Jonesy, what do you got? I got deer that's coming in at 40, 50 yards out. They start snorting, and there's no way they can see me. But they keep snorting and looking at my direction. What did I do wrong? What am I doing? As you hunt, you stand every day, don't you? Well, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, They don't see you. They're just checking it out. I found that out one time by accident. I hunted a stand too much, and the deer was snorting me, busted me, because I was hunting it too much. And I moved my stand out away, and them stinking deer came into the same spot, call on the ground and snorting. And I'm looking at them. I'm nowhere in their scent cone. I'm saying, son of a gun, them suckers are just testing for me. You're going to hunt a bait, you're going to hunt a mineral site, you're going to hunt a scent place, scent site. Here's your key. Don't hunt it, don't overhunt it. And learn to be a deer hunter before you put it in, so you know where to put it, so you can get the best activity and the best shot and the best situation you got. Alright, I apologize for that video in the front. I was just a little perturbed. You have every right to be where you want to be on public land. Still pisses me off if you do next to me, but you have the right. So forgive me for that. If you saw that video, please forgive me. That wasn't professional. I didn't go out of board or cuss or hoot and holler and all that, but I spoke my mind like I'm known to do. So forgive me on that. If you want to hunt with a bait, if you want to hunt with a scent, you're going to hunt with a dry attractant or a mineral, think about it. Think about what I just said. All right, I'm going to leave it here. Thoughts from the office, Redneck's Pride Outdoors.